it's me, JC, back with another Ceramic Hour live stream. Yesterday, we worked on these little tripod air plant holders. We've added some coats of glaze to them. I don't know if I want to put any more on it. We only did 2 coats because it went on really thick. So I think I'm just gonna put these off to the side. And I did mention yesterday that we would work on our little cowboy boot. So let's get started and add some wax resist to it. Let me just kind of move some of the dust and whatever things over. Okay. So I'm going to grab my wax on resist. We're going to add this to the foot. Just like, I don't know, just grab a little bit for now. Oh wait, I think I do have a smaller brush. Okay. Let's see. Maybe like this? I think that's good, maybe. Let me check out the foot here. I don't know. The foot over here is not very high, so I don't think I'll put any glaze on the bottom. So we don't really have to worry about that part. Oh, actually, let me take my watch off just to make sure I don't know, get anything on it. You don't have to use like a wax resist, but I think it's kind of nice to use when you put like underglaze or glaze on it. Most of it will bead up and kind of be like repelled by it, but some of it will, sorry, I meant some of it will bead up and like kind of like sit on top of it too. So you do have to just do like a quick little wipe down, but the majority of it will be repelled. You can see it's purple, but when it dries, it's a little bit harder to see. Let's see, how far do I want it to go? I'm going to be putting glaze and underglaze like on these sides. So this is going to kind of keep it away from the foot. I think that's a good amount. It's probably maybe a little bit much. Oops. Okay. Just about done here. It's especially good for like if I didn't put the wax resist on and I use like a sponge or something to like wipe off like the foot area and like a little bit up the sides, like this part right here would be particularly tricky to get into, and it's just like a little annoying. So I don't know, I just kind of feel like maybe it saves like a little bit of time from cleaning the pots. If you have something round, you can easily just like put it on your wheel. I don't even think you really have to like pin it down with anything. You just like, you know, put like a mug on the wheel and then just like really just in seconds just put on some resist on the foot that way. But obviously this isn't round, so we can't do that with this, but yeah, I'll grab like all of my round things and just like throw them on the wheel real quick. Okay, so, oh wait. Okay, so I think we want to do, this is pretty much dry. Not quite dry. Okay, let's just give that a little bit. I do have some more cowboy boots. I guess we can do the other cowboy boots. Just like let this thing dry. I'll need a little bit more wax. Okay. The foot's not very high on this one either, so I don't think I'll put glaze in the middle of it. If I put the glaze in the middle, I kind of want to like make this edge like nice and smooth. So it's not like super wonky and ugly. Okay, and then we're gonna go around the edge of it again, just like the last one. Did anyone see Etsy Up today? They just did their, I think it's like a yearly thing. Or maybe they do it twice a year. Okay, maybe they do it twice a year. Because they really didn't have like a ton in it. It was only an hour. And they usually go over, I don't know, like shop tips and they featured like a couple makers, which was really fun. Two of the people actually use like vintage things and then they kind of like upcycle it into like whatever. Like this one lady uses fabrics and stuff that are vintage and she like sews like clothes with them, but like in like a modern contemporary style, which I think is really fun. like that. That's like what she does. Yeah, they kind of featured like a few makers and a little bit about like Etsy's initiative, which is like called Keep Commerce Human. I think they're kind of like I think it's kind of like a comment on like Amazon, like buying from Amazon, and like buying from, you know, I guess like right now, particularly like Temu, Shein, things that are not handmade and they're just like typically like lower quality type of things. You know, like a lot of the things are just like cheaply made in China. So I think that's kind of like what they're trying to like emphasize with it. It's like, oh, Etsy's made by hand and whatever. But it's like, I don't know, it's kind of like ironic. It's like they just like implemented like a bot like either like this past year or maybe it was like just like a year ago, like over a year ago. And it like took down like a bunch of people's shops for like different reasons, because like it thought they weren't following policy and stuff, but like some people were. And I don't know, it's kind of like ironic because like they kind of should have like real people doing that. I mean, there's so much on Etsy, like I don't know how much it said, but I think it said it took down 4 million like either listings. I think it was listings, not just shops. I don't know if all of those were like legit, like things that were supposed to be taken down. But it was a lot. So like, I mean, to a certain extent, like you can't really expect like Etsy to have that many people like reviewing every like the millions of listings that are on Etsy. But I've also heard a lot of people say that like the bot took their shop down. They won't tell them why, which is like one of the like larger issues that people have. They won't tell you like why your listing has been removed or why your shop has been removed. You just have to like figure it out on your own. And then like some people like couldn't figure out like what was wrong and there actually wasn't anything wrong, but then they like contact Etsy, and I've heard that like their support like does not help them at all or something, like not all the time. And it's like, I don't know, it's all kind of like ironic. I like love and hate Etsy at the same time, so it's kind of like it's complicated. I think is this dry yet? Okay, I think this one's dry. Yeah, so it's complicated. But I don't know, they did have like some people on there like they had videos of like actually going to these people's like workplace, like their homes and stuff, where they their studio that they work out of. And let me see, do I want like a flat one? Maybe, I think maybe a flat one. Okay, first we're going to do let me see. Maybe I should just get a pencil real quick and like kind of draw where I'm going to put this. kind of feel like I should reference one that I've already made. Just a minute. Anyway. Yeah, so they had some makers and stuff. They announced the finalists for the Etsy Design Awards, which was really exciting. I entered, but I didn't make it to the finalists. Finalists, they have 10 per category, and then they have 10 categories. And then I think they said in October, I don't know if they do it like incrementally. I can't remember. Either in October they're gonna announce like the grand champion and like the final, or like the, you know, winners of each category, or maybe they're like splitting that out. I can't remember what they said, but yeah, I was really hoping I'd maybe get be a finalist. I guess like now that I think about it, like those odds are a bit let me see, is this supposed to be like, how should the heel on those be like? No, I suppose it would be like at a curve. Okay. Okay, I think that's fine. I mean, that's only like 10 people out of like, you know, all the people that applied for it, you know, or like entered. So, I mean, those are pretty slim odds because I'm sure that like tons and tons and tons of people like applied for it. I'm gonna mix this up real quick. Oh wow, this is very like, it's like super sludgy. I don't know what the heck is up with this thing. I guess maybe it's just like drying out. Anyway, those odds are like pretty slim, I suppose. So where should I put this? Okay, I'm gonna put this in my little water cup. But that would be a really cool thing to like achieve, I feel like. I kind of felt like I had like maybe decent odds because like I was doing some research on people that do similar kinds of like ceramics that I do, you know, like particularly things that are have a lot of time spent like underglazing them and stuff, and a lot of the people, particularly, you know, people that I follow on Instagram, which is like a lot, like a lot of them just have their own standalone shop. They don't have an Etsy shop at all. So I was like, oh, okay. Like, I don't know, I kind of felt like pretty good about it. I was like, well, if everybody has like their own standalone shop, you know, like, I was like, maybe I have like decent odds, maybe, I don't know. I mean, not to say that there aren't people that do ceramics on Etsy. There definitely are. Quite a few, but I mean, I don't know. It's kind of hard to like gauge like how many people do ceramics on Etsy, because like if you search like mug, like millions probably of like per on demand mugs like show up, you know, it's really hard to find like actual handmade ceramics, because like ones that are like things that are marked as vintage will show up under handmade, and it's like, excuse you, no. Like like you didn't make that by hand. That should be showing up under vintage, not the handmade category. So I don't know, it's kind of hard to like gauge like how many people do ceramics on Etsy, because it's like, I don't know, it just seems kind of hard to find what you're looking for. And I do particularly like, I like to look at you know, shops that are similar to me, but also do buy ceramics too from other people. I would say a lot of the ceramics that I buy are usually in person. Because it's like, I don't know, it's kind of hard to like gauge the size, and sometimes like the color and stuff like from photos or even like a video maybe. So most things I buy are like in person, but I still like try to search around for those, in addition to like I don't know, checking out the trends or whatever, things that people are, you know, selling in their shops. What is this? Let's just wait a minute for this to dry real quick, and I'll just put some of this. We have a lot. I poured out like a lot of wax, so I feel like we should use it. I feel bad about like wasting things. But yeah, I'm always like, I don't know, just like checking out other shops, like what are other people doing? Like what are other people selling? Do they only sell like dinnerware, or do people sell like a variety of things? You know, are there any interesting products that they make that other people aren't making? I think kind of like a smaller trend right now is like handmade paint palettes. I feel like you sometimes see them popping up at like local markets and stuff, or at least like I do. Here in Portland, I have seen like a few. I mean, I definitely prefer going to markets like in person. Wow, that just put on a ton of wax right there. Didn't exactly want to put like that much on there, but I guess that's fine. I don't know, what else did the Etsy up have? They're kind of like, I don't know why they need to emphasize it, but they're like emphasizing certain things like, hey, if you have an Etsy shop, you should ship items on time. And like, what are they saying? Like, here's how you can provide great customer service. And then they're just like, ship your items on time. And like, just like super basic things that are not really like great customer service tips. They're just kind of like the baseline of what you should be doing. Or like, they're like, answer, you know, customer questions within, you know, like, was it like, is it 48 hours? I think if you're a star seller, it's 24, but then if you are not a star seller, I think it's a different amount. I think it's like, let me put this somewhere. What else should I like put some wax on? Yeah, I think Star Seller is 24 hours for their first reply. If they keep talking to you, you don't have to, like, there isn't like a certain amount of time that you need to get back to them in. But their first message is 24 for Star Seller, then normal people are 48. I'm pretty sure. You know, I think with this we could do, sometimes I go back and forth between kind of like how, you know, like going over this line. So I think we'll just go with the, apply this pink on at the same time. And sometimes I like to just do like all the coats of one color at once and then move on to the next color, but I think we can just, I don't know, I'm not really sure what else I want to do today, so we'll put some pink on here. Let me see, maybe this one. I think this brush will be fine. Okay, I think these little specks are like, I don't know what they are, but I guess they're just lodged in there. I don't think it's like dirt or like something just on the top. Maybe I'll like, I don't know, maybe this will be like a good like thumbnail picture. Sorry, I have to like consider the thumbnail while we're working. I don't know. The Etsy app didn't have anything all that crazy. It's only like an hour long, so I don't know. I would say maybe check it out. They also do kind of talk about a few trends that they're seeing coming up for Halloween and some that are going to continue into the fall. They were talking about, they kind of very quickly mentioned, what was it, like I think they said Western 2.0. They really didn't have like any examples of, you know, listings that fit that category, where they had listings for the other trends. So I was like, okay. I don't know, maybe I missed something. I don't know. But I love like a chic modern Western. I think you can get that with the pink cowboy boot that we're working on right now. I need to get a pair of cowboy boots. I had some when I was a teenager, but I don't know why, but like I thought my foot size like stopped growing, but apparently it didn't, because now I'm like a 9, So I definitely can't fit in them anymore because they were like, I don't know, 8.5 or something. But yeah, I think cowboy boots would be so fun. I don't really know like what to wear them with. Maybe fall's like the perfect time to wear them. I don't know. Anyway, they mentioned like citrus things coming out. I guess they really didn't have maybe too many examples of listings for the trend. They're talking about like a lot of Halloween stuff right now is very colorful and whimsical. Particularly what I've seen at Michael's, possibly other craft stores too. I'm not sure. I think I've just seen things like on Instagram, you know, like reels of people at random stores. Like I don't know what these stores are that they're in. But it's kind of looking like colorful Halloween, but they're also kind of like retro vibes. Got some retro colors, so I think like particularly like pink, yellow, orange things, maybe purple. I don't know about the purple. Let me see, let me grab a little sticky. Where did all my stickies go? Okay, I'm just gonna have to erase this one because it says 4th coat done and we're not on the 4th. Okay. 1st coat done. There we go. Okay, so yeah, we did the sides, so let's do another chocolate. I think we'll just go back and forth. Give the pink a little bit of time to dry up a tad. Oh, they kind of like mentioned what did they say, like heirloom pieces, like, you know, pieces that people could pass down to, you know, their kids and then their kids and stuff. That's kind of cool. I don't really know what that would be. I guess just, I think mostly it's like that idea of like making things to last, you know, especially as someone that does handmade. Whereas like obviously things like that you buy from like Temu and stuff are like really cheap. They're not gonna last very long kind of thing. I guess it's kind of like that. I don't know. I don't have any like family heirlooms. Okay. I don't even know, like, I don't think I can think of anything that my grandma passed down to my mom or grandpa. I think I'd have to really rack my brain. Like, really think about it. See if I could think of anything. I don't think so, though. I don't know. Maybe that's just, like, my family. Yeah. Still can't think of anything. What else? What else did they mention? I think that just kind of went into like a personalization category, maybe. Maybe kind of like adding to that. Because, I don't know, personalized things can be like family heirlooms, I guess. Maybe. Well, some things. Okay. Now let's get our pink back out. I have no idea what I want to do with these other cowboy boots. If you're wondering why we're not underglazing them, I'm not sure yet. So they're just gonna chill for a little bit. What else did they talk about? They did talk a little bit about the what is that called? I mentioned it earlier. It's been like a week or something since it's been out. It's not like new. The like it's the thing that like ranks you in search, like ranks your items, your listings in search. Was it? It's like search insights or something. It's a new tab in your like dashboard that you can check out. All that stuff used to be more secretive. And people just kind of had to guess at like why you ranked a certain way in search, but now they're bringing a little bit more visibility to shop owners. And it has like a few suggestions like, oh, like the photo on this listing is kind of dark. You might want to lighten it, and then it might do better in search and stuff. Things like that. It has like little tips, I guess. I've been hearing like other people like talk about it and stuff, so it really wasn't like new to me. Maybe I should get like a smaller one. Probably should get a smaller brush for some of this detail work for the pink. Get like a little bit more control over where it's going. There might have been like maybe a few other like trends that they talked about. I don't know. I think that's like there. I don't know. I follow things like that, so none of it was new to me. So I was just like, oh yeah, this again. But I think it's like worth checking out. Maybe just like throw it on in the background while you're doing something. Let me think, what else is new? I don't know. Okay. So if you got these done, I think you can see how patchy it is. Like, I think you can see like on the like heel of the boot that the rim is like lighter than the bottom. That means the rim is like drying. It's already dry, but the other part isn't. So should probably wait to do the next coat. Yeah, I'd say the same thing about the pink. The pink still needs like a bit more time to dry. Let's see, what do I have over here? I haven't made any more progress on the chickens. And I have these 2 cat dishes. I still need to do the eyes for the 1 cat. But I need to like get my test tiles out and review them. I can show you guys like my test tiles. How should I move this? I'm like I don't want to like ruin the coat that we just put on it. I think I'll grab this one. I was kind of rummaging through my test towels to see if there was any. Oh gosh.
You know, I'm starting to fear we might run out of money before we get 200 guests.
Get that to stop.
And I don't think I'm even going to reach the fucking goal that I have. Where are my goals again?
Sorry about that. Okay. I've got this one, and then I also have this one. I don't have any normal test towels over here except for these unglazed ones. So this is typically how I do test tiles for the most part. You can throw these on the wheel or you can just like hand build them. I do like to at least have a vertical one for the glazes. It's not needed for the underglazes because they really don't move that much, if at all. So I like to have a vertical one to see how much they'll drip, and I kind of mark the sides with underglaze on like where I put the glaze. And then on the bottoms, sometimes I carve it in, but you can use like an underglazed pencil or something to write in the name or like a number to reference. This is just like, this is a kiln cookie that I made because I was just like, I don't have time. I don't have time to be messing around with test tiles, so I just like took one of my kiln cookies, which is just like, it's just like a round, you know, slab of clay that was bisqued. So it's like ready to be, you know, glazed if you want to put glaze on it. I don't put any kiln wash on them, but I did recently buy some kiln wash. But there wasn't any kiln wash on this. If you put kiln wash on them, I think it'll maybe make it easier to remove if a piece did drip onto it. If a piece drips onto it either way, you're gonna have to throw the cookie away probably. But yeah, just as a side note. But I have this one with my notebook. I don't know if I could really do this like with a bunch of glazes, but because I haven't done it very much, I just kind of like use some colored pencils to like sort of draw in like what it looks like. Because if I had a ton of these little like color wheels, it would be very hard to tell the difference between any of them probably. But I was just like, I just really just have the one. So it's pretty easy for me to check out because I bought a bunch of new glazes, but I had no idea like what they looked like. So this is pretty nice. Just shows me how they look. Yeah, I had no idea these were orange and kind of like a rusty color, or they're like the Merlot. No, I feel like that makes sense for the Merlot, but I don't know, I feel like Chun Plum sounds like it would be purple. I think I was more surprised. I used these two for a combination glaze with other glazes, and they did not turn out how I thought they were going to. But yeah, that's just kind of like one little thing that I have to like rinse them. And then I made this because, well, this is the one that I typically do for a bunch of my underglazes. I found out it's a lot better for reading them on the side if you don't put glaze there. I guess I don't really see like why it's harder to read. But yeah, I have like 1 coat, 2 coat, 3, 4, and 5 to see how they look. And I definitely thought these two blues were different, but they look pretty much the same. But yeah, this is what I like to do, just to kind of like see how they look, because some of them I feel like a lot of people say like 3 coats are fine, but I usually like to do more than that. But some of these, like, I think it'd be really hard to tell the difference between any of these apple greens like past 3 coats. So that kind of like tells me I don't need to do any more than that. Where it's a bit more obvious here in this darker blue. So that's what I usually do for my test towels, but I did like some quick ones with this. I just have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then just kind of like spirals. And I put like an underglaze stamp on here with like my business name, just so they know that this is like mine and they don't like give it to someone else on accident. Because I fire at the studio, and I don't want them to mix up my stuff. Most of my pieces have like my logo in it, unless I like forgot or something. And yeah, I just have like a page in my notebook that tells me like which is which. And then some of these are mixes. So I don't know, just as a guess, I think number 9 might be a 50-50 mix of 7 and 8. I don't know. I'm not really sure. I have to look at my notebook, but it says like what they are. So yeah, that's how I've done some of my test tiles. They're really, there's not like one way to do test tiles. I think some people like to, I think some people like to just like, have like a hole in it, and then they just kind of like have it on a key ring, have like all of them on a key ring, or you could like hang them up on the wall, like that too. Oops, I just accidentally spit on here. It's fine. But yeah, I always want to know like how much things are going to like move. So I do generally like to have a version that shows me like what it looks like on one of the ones that like stands up. Because I think like that particular like crystal glaze one that I have, like the crystals will look different. They won't like, it might not form crystals if it's like falling down the side of like a vase or whatever. So it looks different if it is moving down versus if it's like pooling in a bowl. So those are definitely ones that I want like a vertical for. And I feel like, I don't know, but I kind of feel like ones with crystals might have more movement to them. I don't actually know, but I just kind of get that feeling. Oh, we only have like 5 more minutes. Oh, wow. This hour really passed by very quickly. Oh, but I think we do have a few minutes because I didn't start right at 2 o'clock. I was like rummaging around my like test house. Okay. So I think that's done for the brown at least. And then let's quickly get a pink coat on here. Oh, I can't believe it's like fall. I don't know. I feel like September is fall. Although I guess like, I don't know. Don't you have to wait for like some solstice or something? I don't really know. Yeah, I'm just like, I don't know. I'm never like ready for fall because I just like, I love the summer. Even though it's pretty hot. It's been pretty hot. It's always like 90 or something here. Which I didn't know it'd get like that hot here. But I am looking forward to cooler weather. Here in Portland, it's like, I feel like it jumps very quickly and there isn't like this nice like slow cool down like last week. I don't know, I guess maybe it's sort of slowly cooling down. Last weekend it was like 77, which I don't know, I mean that's like, it's still kind of hot, but I'm just kind of like surprised that we went from like I think when we got back, so that was like the week before that, it was 98. And then last week it was 77. It didn't even get to 80. And I was like, what the heck? And now, like, I don't even think it's going to get to 70 this weekend. So I kind of feel like it's sort of making a bit of a jump. I would really enjoy just like somewhere around like, I don't know, maybe like anywhere between 65 and 75. I feel like that is like the best. I mean, 80 is fine. 80's like not so bad. But it's not really like preferred either. Okay, and then yeah, let me get the size of this and then I think we'll wrap up. I'm watching a bunch of stuff that just kind of gets me into like the fall mood, so I guess that kind of helps transitioning. Playing like, I haven't played it since we went on vacation, but I am meaning to get back to it. Hogwarts Legacy, so that's like a Harry Potter game. And I don't know, I mean, it's not like Halloween, but it's like, oh, like let's brew some potions and fly around on a broom. So it's like kind of Halloween. Watching The Witcher right now, and I don't know, you just get like, oh, like there are like witches and there's magic and monsters, and I don't know, it just kind of has that like, I don't know, that same kind of vibe, I think. And then we're watching Sabrina, the new one. I forgot what the new one's called. Something like The Witchy Adventures of Sabrina or something. I don't know what it's called. That one was very, very like Halloween vibes. And it's like taking place in like the fall too, and they're like going apple picking, and I don't know. They have like pumpkins out on their porch, and it's like, okay, yeah, this is like Halloween-ish. I think I can like, maybe take like a minute and like wash off some of my brushes. And I think a bunch of that underglaze like dissolved off of these little stirring things that I used. They're for like sculpting somehow. I don't really know exactly what you would use some of them for. But they're great for like stirring my glaze and underglaze. Okay, I think this brush is pretty, maybe not that, maybe it's not that good. Okay, maybe I'll just like run it under the sink real quick after, just to make sure I got everything out. Well, thank you so much for joining me here on the stream. For anybody watching on Twitch, be sure to follow along so you know when I come online for videos. The streams for Thursday and Friday will be canceled, but then I will be back on Monday. And what else? Oh, we still have like, still a bit of underglaze on this brush. All the videos are uploaded to YouTube at calieandco. There you can find a whole live stream playlist with, what do we have? I think this one might be 210. I think this is the like 210th live stream. So there's plenty to check out on the YouTube. It's mostly the live stream, but I do have some ceramic tutorials on there that are very short. And then some other videos for just kind of like any artist or people with like a small handmade business. Those types of topics. Yeah, well, be sure to follow along, subscribe, comment, give the video a thumbs up. All of that stuff is really great for content creators. Like, it seems like a really small thing to do, just to like a video or something, but it really makes a difference in terms of like the algorithm and all that behind the scenes stuff. So it is greatly appreciated, and I'm so glad you're here watching. Thank you for watching all the way to the end of the video too. And yeah, well, I'll catch you guys tomorrow. All right, bye.